Hello, 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 y'all. Welcome in, welcome in. We are so excited to have y'all tonight. Uh, when y'all come in, drop us a wave or a comment, and you can tell us the things that y'all would like to hear about tonight because we do kind of want to do a Q&A type style conversation as well. Uh, when you are coming in, make sure that you are clicking the link above and giving StreamYard permission to show your comments. Danielle, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. So glad to be on. So glad to be here. I am inviting a few people as we're talking.
Yes, girl, invite them in because we have to get them a minute to kind of pop in and show up anyway. I'm so excited for tonight, most definitely. I think I've said that about 1,000 times now. Just trying to give it room to get a couple people in before we really get into the nitty gritty.
Okay, my people are saying it says unavailable. So hold on. Let's see. Uh,
It is.
Let me just.
Hold on. Let me go see real quick.
I'm sharing it to my page, so hopefully they'll be able to get on.
There we go. I switched it. Is that working now?
I don't know.
Well, it should because I just went and I changed the settings.
Okay,
Whenever it went live, it did it to where it was private, but I changed it.
gotcha.
You double check. Yep, we got action. Hello, hello, hello. I see we have some people coming in. Y'all do me a favor and make sure that y'all click above our link. There should be a place where you can click so that StreamYard is given permission to show your name. That way we will be able to see your comments. I am streaming across 3 different platforms. So y'all do that so that we can make sure we see any questions that y'all may have because we do also want to make it like a Q&A type conversation as well with any questions regarding, mindset, life, business, all of those things. Y'all are starting to come in, so we'll just start up with the introductions. Some of you may know, some may not. My name is Stephanie Barron. I'm a transformation life and mindset coach. And
I'm Danielle Thomas. I am a business consultant and an MBA, and we're just excited to be on here with you guys tonight.
yes, we are super excited. We will give y'all like a slight backstory on our friendship. And it's so crazy because this has definitely been a season for me where God has been, bringing people that align with my purpose. That's something that I've been praying for. So me and Danielle actually met. We were doing a Unlock Your Business challenge on Facebook. It's a Jamal Miller challenge. We met in there and we kind of were like grouped up in there, and she
Yep.
reached out. Hey, Jamaica. She reached out to me a couple last week actually. Sorry, asking me about how I became a life coach because she's interested in that as well, and a short conversation where I called her so I could tell her what was going on versus all the kids in the background turned into like we talked for a good couple hours, and basically while me and her were talking, God told me to ask her if she wanted to do this. And it's so crazy because, when I asked her, she was like, you know what? God just told me that too. So it's always amazing to me. In my walk with God, sometimes we had those moments where we be so nervous about doing what God says or reaching out to God. But it's always mind blowing to me when, they say, yeah, God told me that too. Like, that just blows my mind. So
Yeah.
we are excited to talk to y'all tonight about this conversation. God has been dropping gems to both of us over this last week. And y'all might just need to get out y'all pens and take some notes. And we also have some giveaways. We'll tell y'all a little bit more about that throughout the chat. I see we have 5 people now. So I'll just repeat, if y'all want us to be able to see your comments, make sure that you click the link that's above our video, and you have to click it and give StreamYard permission so that we'll be able to see your name and what you're saying. And we really want to see what you guys are talking about. So like I said, we want it to really be part way a Q&A type thing. And we love to see the feedback. So we hope y'all are ready. We really do. Ain't that right, Danielle?
That's right.
Who's this?
Right, that's right.
That's you saying hello.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so like I said, it's so crazy because it seems like a lot of the people that God has been aligning me with lately are people that are in the midst of a transitional stage themselves. Because Lord knows I'm in the nitty gritty of it. And there's some days where I get knocked out, but we going to keep on jumping up. Ain't that right?
That's right. Yeah. So excited. Yeah. Stephanie was talking about us meeting in the Unlock Your Business Challenge. And then after, like toward the end of it, or maybe in the middle, she was like, hey, who's local? Can we all get together? So then she formed another little chat outside of that one. And that's really how we got to know each other a little bit more, because in the chat, we asked some of the questions that we might have been a little timid to ask in a big group. So that just kind of really helped the connection. And like she said, I am so in awe of God and how he is connecting me with people in this season. And just the networking of people is very important to me. And like we were talking the other day, saying that you have to be intentional about who you connect with, because
definitely
you have a job that God has for you, and he doesn't want you to just, be connected to just anybody. So that's been amazing for me. So I thank God for all of my connections.
Yes, and most definitely feeding off of, Danielle saying that we have to be intentional with who we're connecting with. Now, like I said, I'm in a transitional stage. So one of the things about God bringing people into my life that align with my purpose is that there have been a lot of people that have had to fade out, or I have had to communicate with them, like this season of our friendship is over. So there's a certain obedience that you have to give. Like, yes, sometimes, well, a lot of the times it's hard. We're not gonna act like our Christian walk is a cakewalk, because it's not. But there's a lot of times where we have people and things that we're holding on to, and those things, even though they may not be like really bad, or they may not, like, you might have a friend and that friend doesn't do anything wrong, but it's just the season is up. There's a lot of times, the way that I see it is, God always takes us to new levels. And the way that I see it is, you have a certain season in that level before you start hitting the ceiling of that level that you're in. So it's like you're sitting here and you hitting this ceiling, and you start finding yourself getting drained. You start finding yourself getting frustrated with where you are. And the reason why is because it's time to go. And a lot of times, we have our friends and these people that we care about that we want to take with us, but sometimes you just can't.
Yep. And that not just in business, not just in life, but in business, it's the same thing. And I do see, like, I'm grateful that I see my sister and my cousins and my sister friends on here. But yeah, sometimes it's not that they did anything wrong. It's just that doesn't fulfill the part of life that I'm in at the moment. So it's not that you've offended me or I've offended you. It's just in this season I'm going to, that's not what I need anymore.
Right.
And God is teaching us how to be able to still love people in the midst of having to leave people.
Right.
And sometimes that's hard for us, because as people, we think these connections are supposed to last forever, and they aren't. Sometimes, I think somebody posted it, it's just a chapter in your book.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be part of the entire book. It's just a chapter of that book. So, that the transition thing can be very difficult sometimes. Especially when you have relationships with people for a long time, or they've been, like really been with you through some things. You think you're supposed to hold on forever, and that sometimes that'll hold you up.
Right.
What God wants you to do. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because, well, sometimes, I think that, like she said, some people are only meant for a chapter, but there are certain situations where just because you have to let go of them on this chapter, that doesn't mean that you won't be reconnected with them again. I know there have been some really good friendships, and I've told them, like, I pray that I'm able to see you on the other side. And people, they think that when you are ending these friendships, you don't have to end them rudely and disrespectfully. You don't have to be hateful. That's not your moment to say, I've been waiting to tell you, and then read them of every little problem that you have. Like, that's not the time for that. The way that I've been ending friendships is I'll pray it out. I had a friendship that I had to end. Me and this person had been friends since I probably was like 14, 15 years old. And in the process of me having to end that friendship, I told them I feel like this season of our friendship, it has to come to an end. And I said, I pray you see on the other side. And then guess what? I started to tell them in that same message, I said, I pray that you find healing. I pray that you find peace.
Right.
I pray that God just shows you who you are in him. Those type of things. You can speak life. Everything, every ending does not have to be a bad ending. You can definitely leave in peace. And you shouldn't, we try to carry ourselves the way that God wants us to. We try to be examples so that when people see us, that they can feel God's love. And that's something that you have to keep in mind. Yeah. That's something that we should always be trying to do, is to just show people love.
That's it. That's
right.
That's it. That is it. That's what God, his ultimate message above everything is to love people. Period. That's it.
Period.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and is there any particular topic that anybody has that they want to or you want to go ahead and start?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, we can. If anybody has, as we're going through this chat, if y'all have any questions whatsoever, like I say, I'm a transformation life and mindset coach. Danielle is a business consultant. She has her MBA. So if you guys have any questions, it can be about your mindset, it can be about life, business, relationships with God, anything. Because the thing is, we're in the process, we're going through, and there's things that we've been through that can help y'all, knowledge that we've gained, everything. So this is an opportunity really for y'all to come and pull from us, in addition to the other things that we have to pour out to y'all. So I see we have 10, 11 people now. Like I was saying earlier, make sure that y'all hit that link above our video. So you have to give StreamYard you have to give StreamYard permission so that we are able to see what you're saying.
Right.
What advice do you all have for a woman that is going through their shift? That's what my cousin Tracy said. You want to go first, Danielle?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay. First and foremost, just make sure that you're listening to God. Make sure you're spending time in the Word. And I know that it sounds like a generalization, but it's the truth. Whatever your transitioning season is, you literally go to the Word and find something about that. Find somebody that may have been through something similar that doesn't run their mouth, and you pray and ask God to give you somebody, because He will. Because I have a group of sister friends that, as I was going through stuff, if it wasn't for them, I may not have made it. But what you do, so you focus on what God is telling you. You sometimes you have to separate yourself, and you get to a point where it's just you and God. Sometimes you have to miss the parties and the this and that, because you're focused on what God is telling you. And once you do that, you're able to hear God clearer. Now, I know for me, now, this is just me, God gave me different types of fasts in my process. And, so He would say, don't, let's forego this right here so I can get clarity, or let's forego that so I can get clarity, or whatever. That was for me. That may not be your thing, but just sit with God, literally meditating on His Word and spending time with Him. And He speaks very loud when we're silent.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, in the midst of that, get you somebody that you can share with, because let's face it, we're human. You need to get some of this stuff off of you.
Right.
So you need to share with some people and ask God who it is, because you want to talk to somebody that's not going to tell everybody your business. And then
Mm-hmm.
besides that, you spend some time with God, and that may mean separating you from some people for a time so that you can hear him clearly. So that's what I would say.
Right. And especially in the process, like we're now we're aware that we are in the middle of a shift, and we know that like this is grind time, like it's just time. It's a very sensitive period for us. So what you have to make sure that you're doing is you have to be mindful of what you're pouring into yourself. When I say that, that means you have to be mindful of the music that you're listening to. You have to be mindful of the people that you surround yourself with. I have always, always, always heard that you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. So
True
with me
that.
saying that, sit there and think about your 5 closest friends. And when you're thinking about these 5 closest friends, I want you to ask yourself, okay, what are they trying to do? Do they have goals?
Mm-hmm.
Are we on the same path? Because sometimes, I'm not saying you have to completely cut them off, but you have to, like, limit access a little bit. You can still be friends with folks unless God just straight up tells you no. That
Mm-hmm.
don't mean you have to be out. Oh, I'm moving on to bigger and better things. You
You don't
got to
even have
go.
to.
Like, we don't have to get like that with people. So think about your people that you hanging out with the most, and if that's people that can speak life into you, pray with you, encourage you, they're trying to get it themselves. Most of the time, God brings you people that are in the thick of it with you, so that
Mm-hmm.
y'all both have an understanding of, one, I'm not alone. Two, that just because I'm going through these things, that doesn't mean that this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. And do I have a three? And three, that like, no, I feel like I'm disqualified because I just messed up. Then you have to have people that's to have people that God connects you with, so that you can see those things. And then
Mm-hmm.
other than that, God is going to connect you with people that have already been through that, people that can
Right.
help give you some guidance.
Yeah. The question says, can either of you please explain to the women online what you mean by mind shifting or transformation? You want to start?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna say it don't matter to me.
Okay. You go ahead if you
Okay,
want.
well, yeah, like I say, I'm a transformation life and mindset coach, so this is right up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people do not realize that your mindset controls everything. When I say everything, everything. Your mindset has been built by the things that you have gone through in life, whether it be the environment that you grew up in, the way that society has tried to control and just tell us that this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't. uh the things that you learned religiously, all these type of things have ingrained you with the mindset that you have today. And so some people, they think, oh well, that's just is what it is, this is just me. It's not. You can change your mindset, you can definitely change your life, but you have to change your mindset first. When we say something about mindset shifting or transformation, all of us are imperfect. Nobody that walks this earth is perfect. Nobody that walks this earth is better than anybody else. Period. It don't matter if you got $5 billion. It don't matter if you got 50 cents. We all equal. So the thing about it is, the thing that makes the person stand out is their mindset, how they think, how they carry and present themselves. When Even though we have these mindsets that are ingrained in us, you can change them. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody gets to this point in life where you be like, you know what? I don't like doing this anymore. Like, you begin to feel like this is played out. I don't want to go partying and drinking, and I don't want to gossip no more. You get to the point where you are no longer comfortable with where you are. That's what starts the beginning of the change cycle. So once you start to feel like this, you may begin to implement some changes. You might start going to the gym. You might start, reading books that would help that. But in this cycle of change, it's like, it's triggered. We're uncomfortable where we're at. So we start making these changes. But then, sometimes it's a lot to keep doing that stuff over and over. And you start to be like, it's not so bad what I was doing. There was nothing wrong with that. And here you go. You just start back doing what you were doing. That's the cycle of change. There's only two things that can push you out of the cycle of change. And that's either A, you have to be completely 100% honest with yourself about who you are, where you are, everything. You have to be completely vulnerable with yourself. Or if you don't do that, you're going to go through something that's going to hurt you so bad, you don't have any choice but to change. That's the only two ways that you come up out of a change cycle. And speaking of being vulnerable, it's so funny because I was watching Michael Todd's cup series that he did. Yeah. And on one of the things, he was talking about how us not wanting to be vulnerable, that can block a lot of blessings in us. And so, I started praying to God, God, make me vulnerable, because I've been through things that definitely harden my heart. And I think that I've healed a lot. But, sometimes there's still more. A lot of times there's still more. Just because I've healed and I've grown, that doesn't mean that I'm 100% good. The Bible says that, this is a good work that God works out in us till he comes back. So there's always room for growth. And so, even when I prayed that, I didn't even think, God just dropped that on me like within this last week. When I was praying about being vulnerable, I didn't mean with myself, but you most definitely, that's the hard conversations. When you have to sit down with yourself and be like, all right, self, we really been tripping. Like, you have to come to the point where you can sit down with yourself and you can have the hard conversation and say, look, this is what we messing up at.
Yep.
We said we were going to do this. We ain't doing that. We said that we want to be here. What we doing ain't aligning with that. Like, those are the things that you have to be able to sit down and do. This person, this is supposed to be love. This ain't love. Ooh, that's a hard one. I've been there, had to do that. Like, you have to. And that's just what it comes down to. You have to be willing to be honest with yourself, because once you see that something is wrong, that's when you can start making the changes. If you still don't see nothing wrong with your behavior, if you still making excuses for the things that you allow, because sometimes it might not necessarily be what you're doing, but it can be what you're allowing. You know that you don't deserve to be treated like that,
right?
To be talked to like that. Right. You know that you deserve so much more, right, but yet you still allow it because I don't want to be alone. God, okay, God, we won't look.
I don't know what happened. Can y'all still see Stephanie? Oh, there you go.
There I go. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I had a phone call come through. But yeah, I promise that was God. Don't jump through the phone at me now, because I wasn't even finna say that. Him said it, not me. But it's like, those are the type of things. Once you're able to do that and you can start taking those actions, that's where the shifting, that's what the mindset shifting. That's how you come into the transformation. Danielle, you go ahead.
Yeah, because like just sometimes I guess because I work with kids, sometimes I just really break it down to the bottom. Okay, she's asking me a question. Get to women who are going through a shift, need to redirect their finances. How or do they start? What are some small money goals can start doing that are small but attainable? Okay, so the very first thing I would say is to get a simplified budget. And I'm gonna show you something, and y'all might think, anyways. And it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It doesn't have to be. Now I do have budget forms or whatever, but seriously, like, just this says July financial plan. Just make you a column. I got a column of what is, what isn't. Real simple. And then I tell people sometimes too, we talk about saving or whatnot, and everybody thinks it has to be a huge amount. Start small. Like, you can start with just like, say you buy something and it's $5.20. If you're keeping track in the checkbook, round it up to the next dollar. Real simple stuff. At the end, you're not missing that. So that's a small change that you can do, but it's an attainable thing. Because I know I was a single mom raising a kid, and sometimes it just seemed like it wasn't there. But as time went on, things did change. And then you said going through yeah. So then you have to really, like she was saying, you have to be vulnerable with your money. You got to put out a list on what I'm doing. I went through a season of saving every single receipt I had, and I went back and looked at that receipt. This is literally what I did. I went back and looked at that receipt, and I was like, okay, was this a necessity, or this was just something I did? Because convenience costs. So let's just say that. So maybe everybody else is eating out. Well, we can't do that. We're gonna go to the grocery store. Well, child, these days. But anyway, we're gonna go to the grocery store. We're gonna buy something. But literally, I can't tell you which exact method works for you, but it may be keeping the receipts. It may be writing it down and looking at what did I do? Do I need what can I switch? Because there's always something you can switch up on. I also went through seasons of, marketplace is a great thing. They got all kinds of stuff out there. You may have something somebody else want. You may have to go through a season of, okay, I don't use this no more. Let me put it on marketplace. That's extra income that comes back to you. I'm just being real with it because people will tell you all kinds of great big things, but this is realistic to Baby Net, Alabama. I'm gonna say that. So there's some stuff you don't need this anymore, but somebody else may need it. You may not get a bunch for it, but you might get something for it. So if we're trying to be real about the thing, that's something that we need to start doing. So I did that. Then I tried to do the envelope thing. Sometimes that worked for me. Sometimes it didn't work. But realistically, start small. Don't just say, okay, I need $1,000. I'm gonna do this big thing. Because the likelihood of you doing something big like that is not likely. So just start with something small. Round the money up. Look at your receipts. Don't go out when everybody else goes out. We're gonna have to eat at home for a little while. You may have to at some point pick up an extra little side hustle to get yourself back straight. I mean, that's just the reality of what it is. There's no quick fix for it all. There's no magic wand, but there are reality moments that you can do that will help get you back on track. So that's what I would say. That's part of what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, that's two of the biggest things when you're trying to set any goal, you have to start and you have to be realistic with yourself. Don't sit
Mm-hmm.
here and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna make $1 million this
Yeah.
month." Which I
Yeah.
mean, some people can. Don't get me wrong. There's some people that can, but is that
Mm-hmm.
realistic for you?
Right.
So that's what you have to think. You can't be like, "Oh, I'm gonna say $500 every check," but your check is only $800 unless
Yeah.
you ain't got no
That's not
bills
right.
and stuff. Then
And
yeah,
just
you
don't
have to pick
compare.
what's realistic for you.
Right. Don't compare you to somebody else. Don't look at other people and see. And that was something I was going to talk about anyways. Don't look at what other people are doing and compare yourself to that. We hear it, but do we really hear it? Because just because
Yeah.
your friend over here could save XYZ amount of dollars doesn't mean that that's realistic for me. Like even Stephanie, now she has little people at her house. I don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like her picture of whatever is not going to look like mine. We're not in the same spaces in life. So don't get stuck in my friend has this or this person over here did it. And girl, I ain't think she. Don't worry about that. That ain't your business. All you can do is say, okay, this is what's going to work for me. Comparison kills so much. So don't compare. Just ask God for the right plan for you
Yes.
and try some different things. You don't know what's going to work out. You can try this and try that. It may not, whatever, but just keep trying till you get to the plan that works for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like that's another thing. So in my season of my mind just went blank. What's the
Transition.
word I'm looking for there? Yeah, that one. In my season of transition, I have really learned that you have to be a respecter of processes, whether you want to or not.
Mhm.
You can see me and be like, "Oh, Stephanie got such and such and such," but you don't know where I started. Cause I think a year ago, Stephanie wasn't on no lives or trying to do any events, and Stephanie was not active in her coaching. So it's like you have to understand everybody has a process. You
Mhm.
can't skip through it. You have to, or if you do skip through it, you're gonna find yourself unprepared. We might get frustrated in the process. Well, not we might. There will be moments in your process where you're gonna be frustrated, you're gonna be mad, you're gonna be hurt, all kinds of emotions at different stages. But you have to allow yourself to go through that, and you have to know and understand that God is with you. You're not by yourself. God is a gentleman, so you have to let him in and welcome him. He not just gonna boosh, girl, I'm here for you. Like, when I say that, I mean like busting down the door
Right.
to get in. He's a gentleman, so
Right.
you have to welcome him in. You have to allow him to be God in your life.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll be sitting here going through all this stuff, and you'll be like, God's not there for me. He don't care about me. And the whole time, God is at the door like, can I come in yet?
Right.
I'm right here for you.
Right.
You just have to let me be.
Yeah.
Oh, just in case we have some new people, if y'all have comments or questions, anything, then make sure that y'all have clicked the link above our video so that you give StreamYard the permission to show your name. Otherwise, we might not see your comments and we're not gonna know who you are. So make sure y'all do that. And while y'all are here, share this so other people can get free game.
Okay. There's two questions. One is about, in today's society, there are many people that are dealing with depression and anxiety. Do you all feel or think that males have a harder time making the shift, change, or transformation in life versus females? Lately, I've been seeing more males not feeling worthy of living. My thoughts are that we have to start lifting them up. I can talk to you about depression and anxiety because that was a whole season of life, lived in that for a very long time. I cannot say if males have it worse or not. I'm not a male. I can say that, as women, it is our goal to uplift men, uplift our men. That's something that God wants us to do. But, a lot of us have dealt with or are dealing with depression and anxiety. And it is something that can completely stall you in any process in your life. And sometimes the way that it looks on the outside to other people is different. Because I was a high functioning, I had anxiety, but I was a person with depression who was highly functioning. I did the things. I was always doing the things, helping the people. So people didn't think I was battling that, but I was. So it looks different for everybody. But I think if we really stop and consider other people in general, and we'll say we do, especially as church people. Oh, God teaches us to love, and I'm gonna love my neighbor. But do you really stop and think about, well, she might be going through something. Maybe that's why she acting like that.
Right.
Or he may be dealing with something. Maybe that's why he's like that. So it's always better to give a kind word than a judgment. I'm just not real big on the judging people. That ain't my place. That's not my business. My business is to encourage people. And I want to always try to be somebody that does encourage. And we should uplift each other. And two, I do see in society, because first of all, I'm going to speak on the Black community because I'm Black. So, that's something that we don't ever want to talk about. Like, everybody just pushes it under the rug. And that has been a mistake we have made for so many generations. And it's why people don't want to talk about it. It's why they have an issue talking about mental health. There's nothing wrong with that. All of us are dealing and battling something. Mental health is super important. So we need these, because there's times I used to self-care once a month. I self-care daily. And it's important for me because if I don't get away, if I don't find that release, then I am going to just be overwhelmed up here. And when you're messed up here, you can't help you and anybody else. So it's very important that we consider other people's feelings, that we really think about. And I think for me too, I'm gonna say, going through it, it helps me to be more sympathetic to other people. It helps me to see people from a different light. Because you might say, "Oh, she just being ugh," and sometimes I'm like, "Well, maybe it's this," or I can look at that and be like, "Well, she probably dealing with XYZ because I dealt with the same thing."
Right.
So it makes you a little bit more compassionate for other people. But we have to know that self-care is okay. It's not selfish. It's important that we do that. We have to know that mental health is important for all of us. We need Jesus and therapy. Because, for the longest in a church setting, it was just pray about it. Well,
right.
I did, but I still need some help. Because you go to the natural doctor or your aches, your pains, or whatever. So what's wrong with me seeing a therapist? There's nothing wrong with that. So once we take that stigma away, it helps us all to better be able to function and uplift each other and deal with each other and have compassion for the other person. So that's something that yeah. So that's why I'm all about some self-care. I'm a color, I'm gonna take a bath, I'm gonna read, I'm gonna write, I'm gonna something, because that helps bring me back to center. So I think that's what we need to learn to start doing. And telling people it's okay to talk about it. It's okay. There's nothing wrong
Right.
with that. Yeah.
That's definitely what I was gonna hit on. And then talking about, having a hard time making the shift change or transformation. You have to realize that, for, like you say, I'm black, so I talk about black folks. But like, especially with us, you it's like you're not allowed to show emotion. So it's like it's ingrained in you, especially the males. Like, you have to be strong. You can't be weak. Like, oh, you crying?
But that's
People
not
act
weak.
like,
Crying isn't
yeah,
weak.
people act like that's not normal.
Yeah.
There's like a certain level of vulnerability and transparency that you have to be able to have with yourself, because you have to let yourself feel those things. You have to let yourself um go through those motions and emotions. But some of the reason why it's hard is because we've always been told, you you're not supposed to show emotion. You have to be strong. This world don't care about you, and a whole bunch of other list of limiting beliefs. Excuse me, especially as a black woman, you're not allowed to get loud. You angry. Da, 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 you can't be hurt. Yeah, y'all know y'all know what they say. I don't have to go into it. But like things like that, they do make different periods of the change and transformation in your life, they make it hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's another reason why it's so important that we understand that it starts with self. Because once you sit down and you are able to do that mental inventory with yourself, and you're able to see where you are, what you want, and all those things, once you're able to sit down and do that, that's when you really start to see yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and you really start to love and accept yourself for who you are, because you understand that everything that made me has made me into who I am today. And you begin to understand that just because I went through those things, my worth is not, it didn't diminish. I still have value. I still have purpose. I was still created for a reason. So once you start to understand all those things and you start to go to God about that,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you'll see your worth, and it doesn't matter. That's when you get to a position where I'm going to express myself and say what I have to say, because I know that it does me worse damage to not do that. And sometimes expressing yourself, it doesn't always have to be going off and popping off. Somebody can make you mad, go to God. Somebody can make you mad, go write in your journal.
Mm-hmm.
Go write it out. As long as you're getting it out, then that's helping. It don't always have to be something that's detrimental to somebody else. You don't have to go and throw hands with nobody. It's not worth it.
It's not.
I done got to the point in life where you can say whatever you want to. And I'm gonna tell you that you can have that, and I'm gonna keep on moving. The best way to make somebody feel some type of way, which isn't even what we're trying to do, is to show them that you unbothered. Keep growing, keep
Right.
growing, keep on pushing in life, because they don't like that. Because nine
Nope.
times out of 10, when you have somebody that's just got such a little nasty attitude and always got so much speculation to make on somebody else, because they don't even, it's because they don't even want to look at themselves. I'm gonna
Yep.
sit here and focus on what y'all doing, so I don't have to focus with the fact that I'm not happy. So I don't have to focus with the fact of what I feel like I'm lacking in, and all these things that are haunting me that I never took the time to acknowledge and work through. Some things, sometimes you're gonna find yourself on your knees bawling. Like I say, it's not an easy walk, and it's not always a beautiful one. You might find yourself on your knees crying out to God. I know, because I've been
Mm.
there. It's been a couple times.
Yeah.
Baby, I can do nothing but on my knees, head to the floor, wailing. I'm talking about ugly crying, just
And I will tell you,
But one thing, huh?
I'm gonna say too that like once somebody has decided what, once they put their opinion of you out there, it that you can sing them a hymn, you can bake them a cake, you can do whatever you want to do. If they have decided that they just don't care for you, there's nothing you can do about it. to change that.
Period.
And guess what? That ain't even your concern.
Yep.
My goal is to treat you with love. Period. And that's all. Right. You can't get from an empty cup. You can't. But and I like to use this analogy. I go back to the airplane thing where they tell you put your mask on first, because if you can't help you first, you sure can't help anybody else.
So
And like she was saying, women are we're nurturers. That's just how God created us. But the one who nurtures has to be nurtured.
right.
So that's why I talk about self-care. And people who know me, I say I am the self-proclaimed self-care queen, honey.
Yeah.
Because what I'm gonna do is take care of Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I don't take care of me, I can't help anybody else. I don't have anything to give anyone. And on my regular 9 to 5, I work with special needs kids. That takes a lot out of me. So
Mm-hmm.
if I don't put something back in, I have nothing to give. And I love my kids, and they do give me so much, but I have to be able to replenish to be able to deal with everything I have to deal with. So yeah,
That's right.
you definitely got self-care is good for you. It's gonna help that depression and that anxiety, but go to a therapist too, because
Yep. And you know what? I hear people talk about self-care, and a lot of times they they say journaling and all that, which is good, going to get your nails done and all that. But you want to know what else is self-care? Setting boundaries.
Yep, you said it.
Yep. Yep.
You said it.
That's
You
that.
said it.
Sometimes you have to think when it comes to self-care, that's taking care of yourself. So there's things in there that might not be with your normal idea of self-care. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to go get my nails and my
Oh,
hair done. I feel
yeah.
really good. But lately God has had me in a season where I have to communicate. Do
Mm-hmm.
I like it? No. But one thing about it, Stephanie been standing 10 toes down on them boundaries though.
Yep.
And that feels really good. Really,
Yep.
really good.
Yep.
And it's so crazy because in this current season, I realized that you have these people where you set your boundary
Mm-hmm.
and they be like, okay, I respect that, but they really don't.
They don't.
You want to talk
They
about
try to
that? They
overstep them.
really don't.
Mm-hmm.
They act like they do, but they still every once in a while they'll say something slick
Mm-hmm.
that they know goes completely, or they'll do something that they know goes completely against your boundaries to try to test and see, whether you're gonna say something about that. I had somebody recently that was doing that with me, and it's like, first time you might just brush it off, but it's to the point where now, no, the first time I'm not brushing it off, because either way, if you can't respect it, you gotta go. And it's like, if you don't stand up for you, who else gonna do it?
Exactly.
You're
Exactly.
the only person that's always with you. Like I've always heard people, they get to where they're no longer comfortable. And one of the first things I hear a lot of people say, I'm ready to move. I'm finna get up out of here. I'm finna take my kids and we move into wherever. They might not have kids. And I done had a couple people get mad at me because I said, okay, so you moving, but you still taking yourself with you.
Right. Right.
Like you can go as far as you want to, but you can't run from yourself. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're not taking the time, like we was talking mindset, if you're not taking the time to pour in yourself and to really get to know you and to actively work toward the things that you want, you're gonna get the exact same results.
Absolutely.
That's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Expecting different results.
Yep. I've been insane.
Yep. Me too.
I have had my moments. But it's like there was a point because I'm a single mom. I had my oldest son when I got pregnant with him. I was actually 19, but by the time I had him, I was 20.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No, I'm sorry, I was 18, and by the time I had him, I was 19. Since before I had kids, I have always been taking care of other people. Always, always, always. I've always been told I have a mother in spirit. I saw a picture of me. Y'all, I probably was like maybe 6, 7 years old, and my friend's little brother was about 5 or 6, and I'm standing behind him in the picture with my hands resting on his shoulder, like I'm his mama. Like I have always, always, always been the type to always think of other people,
Mm-hmm.
always try to make sure that you have what you need, that you're comfortable, always pouring life into other people. And it got to the point, especially in the relationship I was in, I lost myself.
Yeah.
Baby, I couldn't tell you what I wanted to do for fun. Like people, they say, what do you like to do? I take my kids to the park. They like that. We go to the splash park. Like I couldn't answer. People
Yeah.
say, like, I was thinking the other day, when people ask you, how are you doing? Oh, I'm good. How are you doing? But you're going through hell.
Yeah.
You have to be honest. You have there's a, like I say, it's just a honesty, a transparency, and a vulnerability that you have to have. You have to have that with yourself before anybody else.
That's right.
Because if you can sit down and say, dang, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I like. When you can sit down and realize that, that's when you can start thinking, okay, well, what or even if you have to go back to when you did know, well, what did I like to do? Or even thinking now, you might not know the things that you want or what you like, but like things that please you, that give you a little bit of joy. So you have to start with that.
Yep.
Excuse me. You take what you have and you go from there.
Yep.
The process of shifting your mindset, there one of the things that keeps us where we are is all of these limiting beliefs. The voices in your head telling you you'll never do anything and you mess yourself up because how dare you think that you could do something like that and then become this big grand person. These limiting beliefs, they keep you in a chokehold. They keep
Yep.
you stuck where you are. So part of mindset shifting is you have to replace those with liberating beliefs. So the things that are limiting you, you have to realize the truth of those. So say you feel like some situation just discredits and diminishes you. So you replace that with, I still have worth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loved. I'm valuable. I have purpose. Those are the things that you start to tell yourself. And I can tell y'all, if you aren't sure what affirmations, go look up some.
Mm-hmm.
We got Google and everything else nowadays. Go
Yep.
online, look at type in affirmations about business, affirmations about self-love, whatever it is that you need to. Look that up, write you down some, and start saying those to yourself
Yep.
every day.
Because
You say them
I have
every
a couple.
day.
I have a couple of
Huh?
those written down today, and one of them
Yeah.
says, "I know I have the right skills to do this." So whatever it is that you feel God has led you to do, keep telling yourself, "I have the right skills to do this."
Yeah.
I dealt with that with myself, and still do sometimes. It says,
Mm-hmm.
"I don't compare myself to others." Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then the world needs what I have, and I will succeed.
I
So
like that.
what God gave you, what He put inside of you, what you're passionate about, what makes you rise on a day-to-day basis, people need that. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and I said, "You have so much in you. You think what you already know, everybody else knows, but they don't, and they
Right.
need to get it from you." Because we'll say, "Well, everybody already know how to do that." Everybody doesn't know how to do it. Or if they do, they don't know how to do it how you do it. So you teach them the way that, God showed it to you. And you'll be amazed, because when you talked about those things, those self-doubting things, a lot of it comes from here, but a lot of it has come from the outside. Because if you think about who you've been around,
Yep.
who you've been under, who you've been in communication with, like when you hear those things, some of us can think back to being children and stuff we heard back then. And if that little child in you never got healed, you carry that over into adulthood. You still have it. So that's where
Right.
that stuff comes in that's negative. And it does. It has to be replaced with what God says about you. Because if we don't replace with what He says, all we're going to keep hearing is that negative voice in our head. You can't, you won't, you'll never. Oh, who do you think you are? Blah, blah, blah. And there have been actually some real
Right.
adults in my life who have told me, "Oh, you'll never. Oh, you can't." Nobody ever has.
Yeah.
And there are people that you looked up to, and you started believing it because they said it. That wasn't what God said about you. So it really all goes back to meditating and spending time with God in the Word. And like I said, I know it sounds like a cliche because that's how the world has made it. But for real deal, my life is buried in Him. If I'm not getting in the Word and I'm not listening, because this last months I have really grown a lot, and I can say that for myself. There was years I would never have said that. First of all, let's backtrack. I'm a giant introvert. The fact that I can say that that I'm even on here live is a whole Jesus miracle, because this is not my thing. So, but having growing in these last months of transition, I have grown a lot in Christ, and I'm thankful. And I can finally say that, because I would never have said that about myself, because I beat myself for years, because other people beat me for so long, and I believed that junk. So now it is a passion for me to help other people not be stuck in that, not believe it, and speak over you what God has said about you. And if you ain't sure what God said about you, just sit in a still, quiet place and ask him, God, what is it about me? Even in his word, he tells you that he loved you. He gave his only son for you. So if he did that, he thinks you're a big doggone deal. So it really doesn't matter if nobody else thinks that about you. And it doesn't mean you're cocky. It means, in the words of someone else this week, you're confident. But I'm confident in Christ and what he says about me and who he says that I am. So
That part.
I know I'm gonna listen to the naysayers. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm done with that. As the cheer say, miss me with that. Because I know who I am. And when you realize that you're worth it, and you are worthy, and God says you're worthy.
That's right.
The foolishness that you've been dealing with, that ain't even me. That ain't my portion. I didn't order that. That wasn't on my menu. I ain't ordered that. Y'all, that's right. That at the wrong type, but that ain't for me. I'm sorry. That ain't me. So, know your worth. Know who you are in Christ. And you don't have to deal with the negative. And I say remove yourself from situations. If you possibly can, and somebody coming to you with the foolishness, just exit stage left. I don't have to deal with you, family or not. I'm sorry. I love you from over there. Because over here, we got some good, we got the good going on over here. I can't deal with that. That ain't, yeah. I think somebody asked a question about mindset, financial freedom. Right? You know what it said?
Tracy said, is there a connection between the mindset and financial freedom? There most definitely is. Like I said, when I was talking about limiting beliefs, there's limiting beliefs in all kinds of topics, especially money. So the limiting beliefs, maybe it stems from you grew up poor. You don't know anything more than that. So with the limiting beliefs, you could think that you'll never have it. You could think that you don't deserve it. Shoot, you could think that even when you do get it, you would never know what to do with it, and that can keep you from wanting it. One of the things that I have also learned again in my walk is, when we pray for these things from God, you have to really believe that you can have it. Because you can pray all day, but if you don't believe it, it's like you standing here like this, and God trying to shower it, and you just, nope, You can say, give it to me. Can't nobody throw nothing through nothing. That's like me telling Danielle, girl, I got this money for you, and she said, okay, but she's standing there looking at me through the screen door, and I'm like, huh, girl, get this money.
I don't read
like, yeah. I'm not getting it. You don't really want to get that to me. That's what that's like. Yeah. So you have to realize the mindset controls everything. Everything. Because guess what? With your mindset, that's also how you perceive with your mind. So when somebody comes, somebody might walk by you and glance at you. There's some people you won't think nothing about it. There's some of you that be like, oh, well, they looking at me crazy. Hold on, because they got me messed up, So it's really the perception. Your mind, you take it in, then it depends on how you perceive it, and then that's gonna tell the rest of you how to react.
Right. I was gonna let's go ahead and do like the first giveaway, if you don't mind. You want to go ahead and do that? Okay, so one of my favorite passages of scripture is Habakkuk 2:2, and I've been reading that book, and God talks about writing the vision and making it plain, and he was talking about when he came to give the vision, he was like, okay, write this so everybody can understand it. But anyway, so I love to journal. I love planners. People who know me know I got them everywhere. Like they're everywhere. They're just everywhere. It's a whole shelf of them. I got stuff wrote down and everything and everywhere. I'm always writing something. Anyways, but this is the planner. It's called a Glam Planner. It says gratitude, life, affirmation, and manifestation. One of my friends created this planner, and she sells it. Her name is Dr. Latilia Rashawn. She is an educator. But anyway, this is a good one for business, for life, for whatever. And one of the first things, I know this is probably backwards, y'all. It says sit down in your blessings. No, y'all can see it right. It says sit down in your blessings. And then she's got lists of it, So it's a really good one. It's got goal planning and all that in there. Yeah. So monthly scheduling. Next is go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Because I think Stephanie was talking about earlier, you got goals. Now you got to figure out what's going to get me to those goals. So this is going to help you. So before we started the live, we pulled a number. So if you will in the chat over there, guess a number between 30 and 70. I know that's weird, but we want to just give you so ain't no sense in saying 1 to 70 because them younger numbers ain't in there. So 30 to 70. And if you'll go ahead and put your number in the chat, the person who comes the closest or exact without going over will get the plan.
Right. And like we said, you got to make sure now that you did put click above us where you click so that we have permission to show your name and stuff. Because if you ain't clicked, you can put as many numbers as you want to. We're not gonna see it.
Ms. Walker,
click that real quick.
Between 30 and 70. 30
and give StreamYard permission to show your name and your comment.
Yeah. Between 30 and 70. How many times can we put it on?
Oh, well, I mean, it say it's 7 of them looking right now. So you can go, just go with what you know. Just don't get crazy.
Between 30 and 70. Let's see. I guess we'll let everybody vote twice at least.
Yeah, because I don't see it yet.
I don't see it yet either. I saw one that was close.
Ooh, girl, somebody real hot.
Somebody's very hot.
Real hot. I'm talking about you at the door peeping like this. Look at your makeup.
Now that's my sister, right?
Look, and I was going to say, no, sis, you ain't the one that's at the door, baby.
One more. Everybody go one more time.
I think we got somebody that's super, super close.
Yeah, but
she laughing.
Everybody go one more time. One more time.
I like her.
I do too.
Is that she said stay by you?
Okay. The one I got. The only one I got.
That's right. Look, I'm trying to give you extra siblings.
I know. Oh.
Ooh.
We're gonna.
Okay, I think
you're gonna have to go all the way back to the one at the top because you couldn't go over the number. So you'll have to go back to the one at the very top.
Okay.
Everybody voted at least 3 times.
Girl, you changed to 3. It was 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. Whatever. So go all the way back to the top. It's gonna be the.
You say you can't go over? Who made that rule?
Can't go over.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just whoever was closer either way.
I saw 2 people who went over. So who was the first one?
The very first one?
The one that didn't go over.
You sure? You want to rock, paper, scissors about that? Because I just don't know. Let me and you just rock, paper, scissors because I ain't never heard that.
Go ahead, girl.
So the number.
Wait. Oh. Are we saying? We saying?
Yeah, we gonna tell them the number. That way they don't think that we cheating.
We saying the one that was the closest or the one that did not?
It's the one that's closest. I ain't never heard the other way.
Girl, that's what we do.
Because I'm gonna say because they like right there. I feel like that'll be messed up.
Go ahead.
Okay, so ring, ring, ring. The number is 64. So that means the winner is who is Facebook user? Whoever put 65. Can you say your real name? Because we
You
can't
don't
see
have no
it.
name?
It's just like Facebook user. No, I'm still busy. Go away. Who? Okay. Ooh, me. What's your name?
I don't know who that is. Who
Who
is
is
that?
ooh me? Denisha. Monet. Oh, they putting the
Monet.
full name on there.
Okay, you get the planner. Monet, you get the planner.
Is that the same person? Because they said two names.
Yeah, that's the same person. I know.
Okay. Woo, woo.
Hey, so now you got to do something with this young lady. And I know God been talking to you about some things.
Yes.
So this is for you, my love. I'm gonna get
All
them.
right.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna say you want to go ahead and do the next one?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
They said yay, and it's my favorite color. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Monet. Okay. So this one.
Well,
so
girl, your sister said she didn't follow the rules. Well, technically she did because we see her up here. She maybe just didn't put her name. So
you see why I love her so much?
Look, right. Okay, so the next
forget all them numbers. Forget them numbers.
Yeah, forget all those numbers. We on to better now. So my gift that I want to give is $15. So we gonna go again. What we say? 30 to 70?
Yeah. And she's gonna cash app you 30 to 70.
Yeah, I'm gonna cash app you.
The numbers between 30 and 70.
Yep. And so once you get it, I'm gonna need you to send me your cash app so I know it's real.
30 and 70, between 30
yep.
and 70.
And the closest number.
Yeah, that's her rule. The closest number.
I told you we could have rock, paper, scissors for, but you wasn't about that life, so
I ain't about that. I let you roll with it, girl.
Your sister said me run me my coins. I do not see no number next to your name, ma'am. I'm finna say, is whoever that is that won, is she related to you and your sister? Or are they all y'all just close?
She is.
I thought she was the way that Wild Jamaica said everything I needed to know. Sometimes it be your own people, girl.
See, and I didn't even know who that was. All right. Anybody else want to guess?
I only see two numbers. I see three.
She said cousins. Between 30 and 70. $30 and $70. Okay.
I'm gonna say, don't nobody else want to guess?
Who else? Where my mama at?
Is your mama in here? Hey, mama.
Mama and Tracy got the same number.
Oh, mama, you're gonna have to pick a different number. Somebody else said it first.
Mama.
Gotta be quicker than that.
Pick a different number, mama.
Quick, mama.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? That's it. Going once. Going twice. Is that everybody that's still on?
I guess so.
Okay.
Either way, ain't nobody else said nothing. So, all righty. Drum roll. The number is 41. Tracy. What? Your sister said that, Tracy, you are our winner. I think I have your cash out, but send it to me anyway so we can make sure it gets right. I saw that's why I bust out laughing. She funny. She is real funny.
She's hilarious. I love her.
So funny. Y'all, and so if y'all would do me a favor and just share this so somebody else can see it, I really, really hope that. Oh, bet. Okay, Tracy, I will. She said donate it to my nephew's fundraiser.
Oh, so awesome.
Shameless plug. My nephew has a business and it's called, it's a nonprofit It's called Mary's Dream. He named it after his late grandmother. He does things like raise money to. I've seen him take stuff to elderly people in a nursing home. For a couple of years, he has done like school equipment donations and stuff like that. So
Awesome.
yeah, so shameless plug if anybody wants to donate to that. Like I say, it's a nonprofit. He just graduated from college. He got his educator's license, so he's gonna be a teacher, and I think he's gonna be an awesome one. I'm very, very proud of
Awesome.
him. His cash app is hash what you call it? Good, I'm gonna say hashtag money sign Mary's with an S dream. That's his cash app. So if anybody want to bless him, that's the cash app, and that's the way it goes. Like I say, we're so happy that all y'all tuned in with us tonight. It's been an
So
hour,
much.
and I could keep on going, but I'm gonna cut it. So
Yeah.
if y'all think that we should do this again, let us know. If y'all enjoyed yourselves, let us know. I'm gonna drop a link a little bit later. It'll be just where you can go and give feedback about what you thought about this chat that we had today, how it made you feel, whatever came up. So thank y'all so
If you
much.
got any more business questions or anything, like she said, if y'all want to do it again, I can tell y'all all the wrong things I did when I started.
Yeah.
It is.
So y'all let us know. God told us to do this one, and well, shoot, we just let him lead. We don't know if this will be a regular thing or what. So y'all let us know what y'all want. If
We
y'all
appreciate
have
y'all
any
so much.
questions, y'all can start. Girl Jamaica said, "Do it again." Y'all
I
start
appreciate
dropping
y'all so
questions and
much.
stuff. Anything. We were excited to do this for y'all. We have had a blast. We hope y'all have had a blast. We hope that y'all got some good tips, got some notes down, and all that good stuff. So, oh, let me add, like I said, I am a transformation life and mindset coach. So if you need somebody to work with, or you've been finding yourself stuck and you've been feeling like you need help with all the things that we named today, then you can hit me up. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to have my little banner. Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
that is.
uh, you can click my banner. That's my link to everything. Follow me on social media. If you want to do a free discovery call, all that good stuff, just hit me up. I'm around. Also I do have a Blossoming Queens Facebook group that I pour into. I created it as, just like a community for women that are wanting to grow and do better in life, because a lot of times we see these women's groups and it's nothing but mess and drama. Mine's ain't
Mhm.
about that, and it's also a space where I'm able to just pour into these ladies and just give them all types of free game. It's a completely free group. I will never charge in there. I don't even think I've really said anything about anything that has cost yet. So I have enjoyed y'all, and y'all hit me up. Catch you on the flip. All right. We will see y'all later. Please share,
Bye,
share,
y'all. Have a good
share.
night. Blessings
Bye.
upon blessings to all of you.
Yes. Blessings and blessings and blessings. See ya.
Good night.